Hey, what's up YouTube friends and family? It's Cousin Ryan.
It's Frederick.
And we've got a little unboxing video to do. This shipment came from JEGS. It's car parts. Pretty sure I know what's in all of these. They've cut the tape and stuff already. Took a little peek in there, but...
Shut up! You don't think Ryan is famous?
Cousin Ryan.
You gotta...
I haven't fully looked.
Haven't fully looked. You just wanted to kind of see what was what.
Make sure everything, or most things.
Yeah.
Are,
Here, let's get into the first box. So, first box, oil pan gasket. And oil pan. So, here's the reason we needed a new oil pan for our engine. Oh, that's an interesting plug there. The engine that we're putting in this came from the factory with what they call a rear sump. And what that means is, sort of, this part would be in the back of the engine and this part would be in the front. Now what we need is one that has this in the front and the upper part in the back. And because the reason for that is because the cross member where the engine mounts goes right here, and the tie rods for the steering are right behind that. So if the rear sump is in the back, it'll be in the way of the steering. So it's just a matter of, a lot of the older cars had a front sump. I hope I explained that well. So we just need to, once we get the engine out of the derby car, take the oil pan off, bolt this one on. However, in order to make this work, we have to get an oil pickup for the pump that is oriented properly, because the oil pickup, if it's picking up from the rear of the oil pan, it won't fit the new oil pan. And this, I've never done one of these before, so it can't be too hard. It's 2 bolts, right, and a gasket. So this will fit and pick up oil from the front. So we have to change this before we put the new oil pan on. No big deal. No big deal at all. And it even came with a little gasket.
Oh, sweet.
See that? Fits on right like that there. So that is for that part of the project. And then of course the oil pan gaskets for the new oil pan. And what do we have in here? So that's right. We have some brake lines that came with the fittings already on them, and I have couplers that we can couple these together. The reason the brake lines are going to go back in sections is the brake line from front to rear on this car was all one piece, but it was set and mounted to the frame before the body was set on the car. It was mounted at the factory, and it's just, I'm not saying it's impossible, but this way, piecing it together in about 3 pieces. These are actually for the front. The longer ones, I believe, are in this tube right here. It'll just be easier to piece it together so we can wrap it over the frame and to the back of the car. Ryder, what do you got there?
Fuel line coils.
Fuel line. So that will be, obviously, fresh fuel line. Stainless steel to go from the fuel tank up to the front of the car. And we have a second fuel line here because we're going to run fuel injection on this car, and it has a return line, so any extra pressure, fuel pressure that the engine's not using, then runs back to the fuel tank. So it doubles the cost. We have to run a fuel line to the front and then a return line going to the rear. And then this fancy tube here is our longer brake lines that we'll piece together to go from the front brake booster all the way to the back. I've got little clips that will go on the frame. And yeah, that's
pretty much it.
That's it for our shipment today from JEGS. So this was actually the first time I've used JEGS, and usually we use Summit, but JEGS has been solid, and I'm happy we use them. So you want to use anything else or say anything else?
I don't have anything.
Okay.
Or say.
Or say. All right. So until next time, be excellent to each other.
See ya.
You know, say it's cousin Ryan on the Hollywood Boulevard. You know, say he bigger than any superstar. All of us spit is some real dope bar. Some of them sweeter than any chocolate bar. Boom!
Okay.